Some of the best things that have ever happened to us wouldn't have happened to us if it weren't for some of the worst things that have ever happened to us. By Mokokoma Mokonoana. Good afternoon. I'm Keval Shah, and I would like to talk about the effect of the coronavirus or disruptions on the supply chain and a few strategies to improve it. I would like to start by sharing an experience of mine with you. A few weeks back, I went out to buy a cycle for myself, but soon realized that wherever I went, there was simply no stock for cycles in the adult size. At first, I thought it was only due to the rise in demand for cycles due to the lockdown, with bicycles becoming a more viable mode of transport and exercise. However, as I further inquired, the rise in demand was not the sole reason for the shortage. The real reason behind it was the bottleneck caused due to the disruption in the Shimano factories because of the coronavirus. Shimano is the largest provider for almost everything short of a body and tires for bicycles, and is also the most trusted manufacturer for these parts. Without these parts, bicycle companies were not able to manufacture more cycles, and so could not match the growing demand. And Shimano factories, which are located in China, Malaysia, and Singapore, of, faced huge supply chain problems because the factories in Singapore and Malaysia were shut down, which affected the supply, which fell drastically. And this affected the bicycle manufacturers directly and also affected retailers and customers. This is the effect of the coronavirus on a supply chain that did not have a contingency plan to combat such a breakout. After a couple of months of the lockdown, the Shimano think tank found a solution to the supply chain problem, starting production in other countries where there is a surge in demand. Putting up new factories would have been very costly and time consuming, and so they applied the franchise model. They outsourced production to local producers near the demand and, with a few changes, helped the manufacturers produce high quality Shimano grade parts. Such solutions can be used to help fix the supply chains. So, how does this affect us, the privileged people who can stay at home, all of our requirements delivered to our doorstep, working from home? Have you ever thought of how everything reaches you so efficiently? What I'm trying to get at is that there is a huge set of systems that work towards delivering any product from any part of the world to your doorstep just at the click of a button. It is this system, the supply chain, that is the protagonist in all the one day deliveries. From the production point to reaching the stocking point to stores to the consumer, the supply chain has been constantly evolving and becoming more efficient with greater precision and lots of planning involved. The coronavirus pandemic has hampered this process due to many hiccups in the supply chain. The bottom line is that while my example was of what is happening in the bicycle industry, it is not the only industry that is or will be affected by such a hiccup in the supply chain. Problems ranging from problems with raw materials to problems with delivery and natural disasters to trade wars can affect the supply chain. And so it is extremely important that companies are ready with a contingency plan. Procter and Gamble benefited from from optimizing their supply chains and planning because they had 91% of their perfume production in the New Jersey factory. When Hurricane Sandy hit, Procter and Gamble would have faced a huge blow to their supply chain. Because of this, they took control of their factories centrally instead of just letting the local heads handle the situation, and so they were able to better plan for and overcome the hurricane with just a couple of days of production lost because they took the necessary precautions, like shifting the inventory. This shows just how far a contingency can be beneficial to a company. Amidst the coronavirus pandemic, with factories having to reduce or stop production due to the virus, it is of utmost importance that the company has a plan for all eventualities and is prepared for a supply chain shock. By keeping up to date with the information regarding the supply chains, planning in advance, and managing inputs and outputs in an effective yet sustainable manner, companies can sail through even such times and emerge stronger and more efficient than before. The disruptions caused by the virus outbreak have left a deep impact on the consumer behavior and preferences. Customers are now increasingly exercising caution on what, where, and how they buy. While this is largely true for essential products, there is also the other side, where there is pent up demand waiting to be unleashed for semi essential and regular consumption category items. The rising value of Reliance's retail arm, Amazon, Zomato, Swiggy, or courier services like FedEx and etc., are the examples of the adaptations and changes in strategy to improve supply chains in a way that increased convenience for customers and resulted in them gaining huge valuations, while many other businesses and economies are in deep waters. Similar adaptations are taking place or have already been implemented by many companies. Agrify Organic Solutions started delivering fresh vegetables in Maharashtra during the lockdown, removing the middleman. Amul, a cooperative of small milk producing cattle owners, resulted in a better milk price realization at the producer level and a regular milk supply to lakhs of people in India. These are great examples of the supply chain dynamics that are being used well or are adapted well, and the results are amazing. To summarize, the following are important in a supply chain: planning for eventualities and for future events efficiently. 2. Monitoring inventory and checking on suppliers periodically. 3. Efficiently managing a portfolio of diverse products. 4. Delivering to the consumer directly. And 5. Moving towards regionalization of production near the demand to increase efficiency. By keeping these in mind, businesses can easily bounce back higher from the coronavirus kind of shocks or any other disruptions. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the coronavirus should not be thought of as the worst thing that has happened to us in recent history. Rather, it should be thought of as a new opportunity that can help us progress into a more efficient future. Thank you and have a great day.